Have you ever heard a story and just thought, wow, what happened there? Like, how could that even happen?
Well, at the time, yeah.
Well, that's what I thought when I saw this story about this road in Nigeria.
Mm,
It's called the Enugu Abakaliki Ogoja Road. And the crazy thing is it was built with concrete. It's supposed to last forever.
right.
But get this, it totally fell apart like only a few months after it was built.
Oh, wow.
I know. Crazy, right? So in this deep dive, we're going to try to figure out what went so wrong.
Sounds good. Let's dig into it.
So, okay, everyone always talks about how great concrete roads are. Like they're supposed to be super strong and last forever.
Yeah, that's the idea. They're definitely way more durable than asphalt roads.
Right, like they always compare them to those old Roman roads that have lasted for like centuries.
Exactly. They can handle way more traffic. They don't need as much maintenance. And theoretically, they're more cost effective over time because they last so long.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what makes this road falling apart so quickly such a big deal?
Well, think about it. Even if there were like some minor issues during construction, a concrete road should not just disintegrate in a few months. It just shouldn't happen. That means there were some major mistakes made, either during the planning, the construction, or both.
So this wasn't just like a little crack in the pavement.
Oh no, this was like the whole road crumbling.
Wow.
Yeah. The report we're looking at from Sahara Reporters said that locals are saying it takes them twice as long to travel now because the road's so bad.
Oh gosh.
And it's dangerous, too.
That's awful. It must be so frustrating for people who live there. They were probably so excited to have this new road.
Exactly. They were promised this amazing solution to all their transportation problems.
And now it's worse.
Yeah. And beyond just the inconvenience, it really makes people lose trust in the government.
Yeah.
Like, why should they believe any promises about infrastructure if this is what happens?
Right, it's like you got tricked.
Kind of like if you save up for years to buy a brand new car and then it turns out to be a lemon.
Oof. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so from like an engineer's perspective, what could have caused this road to fail so badly?
Well, there are a few possibilities. One is that they used really cheap, low-quality materials.
Ah, so they cut corners.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe they used a weaker type of cement or they didn't use enough steel reinforcement inside the concrete.
So it's like building a house on a weak foundation.
Exactly. It might look okay at first, but it won't be able to handle any stress.
Gotcha. Okay, what else?
Another really important factor is the soil.
The soil.
Yeah, did they analyze the soil properly before building the road? Because if the ground underneath isn't stable, the road won't be either.
That makes sense.
It's like trying to set a table on uneven legs. It's just not going to work. And then there's the actual construction process itself. There are so many things that could have gone wrong there.
Like what?
Well, for example, did they compact the layers of concrete properly? Did they build a good drainage system to prevent water from getting in and weakening the foundation? Did they let the concrete cure for long enough?
So many things to think about.
I know, right? Even something that seems small can have a huge impact if it's not done right.
So basically, there are like a million ways this could have gone wrong.
Pretty much.
This is making me nervous to drive on any concrete roads now.
Well, don't worry, most concrete roads are built properly.
Okay, good.
But this case in Nigeria really shows how important it is to have transparency and accountability in infrastructure projects.
Yeah, so they did mention in the report that the governor at the time was really pushing for concrete roads. And now he's the works minister.
Interesting.
So do you think maybe there was some pressure to just build the road quickly without worrying too much about the details?
It's definitely possible. Sometimes politicians want to see results fast,
Right.
and they might rush things, even if it means sacrificing quality.
That's frustrating. So what can we as like regular people do about this?
That's a great question.
I mean, I don't build roads.
You don't. Well, it's still important to be aware of these issues and to ask questions.
Like what kind of questions?
We'll start by finding out who's in charge of infrastructure projects in your area.
Okay.
And then ask them about their plans for new roads or bridges or any other big project.
What materials are they going to use? How are they going to make sure the construction's done properly?
Exactly. And don't be afraid to push for more transparency and accountability.
You know, now that you mention it, I haven't really thought much about where my tax dollars are going when it comes to infrastructure.
Well, this case is a good reminder that we should all be paying attention.
Yeah, because ultimately we're the ones who are affected by bad roads and bridges and other infrastructure problems.
Exactly. So we need to make sure that the people in charge are doing their jobs properly.
Okay, good advice. So listeners out there, what do you think? How can we make sure that infrastructure projects are built to last and that our communities benefit from them?
That's a good question.
Yeah, something to think about.
Definitely.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you learned something new, and be sure to join us next time for another fascinating story.
Yeah.